You know, Mother Nature doesn't come in the form of a sandwich or a bowl of cereal. I'm John Laspina. I am the carnivore teacher. Let's talk about processed food, ultra processed food. Everything that we eat is kind of processed. Even if you think you're just having some ground beef, that beef was ground, so it was processed a little bit. I'm talking about ultra refined, heavily processed food with chemicals that these mega conglomerate companies and factories use to make these food-like products. Do you realize that in the standard world diet, we are consuming things that are not food? They're chemicals that preserve little pieces of food that they put in there. That's low quality, by the way. We are not supposed to eat a sandwich. You can't find a sandwich in nature. That bread is so highly processed from the wheat, which is genetically modified. What does GMO mean? Genetically modified means they are able to spray the wheat with glyphosate, which is this extremely carcinogenic and toxic chemical. And then the wheat will grow, and the bugs don't want to eat the wheat because of the glyphosate. But the wheat doesn't die, the wheat grows. Now when they harvest the wheat, there's residue of glyphosate. That's genetically modified to resist the glyphosate so the bugs don't eat it. That's why we say don't eat GMO corn, GMO wheat, GMO fruits and vegetables or food. Anything genetically modified has been modified on a genetic level to resist pesticides. So the bugs die, but the plants live. But you're getting the residue of that pesticide, and it's really bad. They're finding residue of glyphosate in mother's breast milk because she ate that diet and she's breastfeeding her baby, and it's in the milk. We're getting it in our water. It's in the groundwater. It's everywhere. So don't, maybe we can't avoid it now, but try to avoid eating products and foods that you know are genetically modified. Back to that sandwich, which is genetically modified, highly bleached and processed wheat flour, where they eat, if it's white bread at least, they threw away all the chaff and all the husk and they bleached it white. It's this powdery white processed stuff that has absolutely no nutrition in it, and they add sugar. They do. They add, and it's already a starch. They add seed oil, a little salt, yeast, and they make white bread. That's so bad for us. The starch alone is bad for us, but then all that other stuff in there and the fact that they stripped it of any nutrition. You're putting ketchup or mustard or whatever, all those condiments, some of those are okay. And then, sliced whatever, peanut butter, jelly. If you're doing lunch meats, a lot of them are full of additives and preservatives if you can't find the healthy lunch meat, because there are some healthy ones out there. A sandwich does not come from nature naturally. It's ultra processed. A bowl of cereal. We never had cereal before the late 1800s. Nobody ate cereal. Cereal was an invention by J. Harvey Kellogg. Kellogg was the Seventh-day Adventist, and they believed that meat was bad because meat caused men to want more sex, and meat caused women to get more sex. And back then, through the temperance movement, you try to keep everybody off the alcohol and off of the sex, right? So to keep men and women sterile or not so sexually promiscuous, they came up with cereal. They came up with taking grain and making cereal and pushing this concept, and the Seventh-day Adventists still to this day push that concept and believe that, and it's embedded in their enormously wealthy church, and there are companies and factories that have big money that support this. They don't say the phrase Seventh-day Adventist because that's a church, and they get that wonderful tax deduction too, which kind of pisses me off. But cereal is just grain. Ultra-processed, genetically modified grain. And if you look in the cereal aisle, which is an entire aisle on the left and the right, up most grocery stores, it's full of not just the grain, which is starch, which turns into sugar, but it's full of all the added sugars and seed oils and preservatives And some of them have MSG, makes something taste better than it really is. Cereal, sandwiches, they don't come in nature naturally. They don't show up in nature. Instead, I encourage you in this video to leave that stuff behind. When you go into the grocery store, push your cart around the edges till you get to the meat section and buy your beef, buy your pork, buy your bacon, buy your lamb, lamb shoulder, lamb loin, lamb chops, buy your delicious oxtail, ground beef. You can get ground turkey, ground chicken if you want. I don't like that stuff, but I like ground beef. I like the fatty ground beef, 70-30. You can get it on sale. Buy your meat on holidays, Christmas, all the different holidays, New Year's, Labor Day, Memorial Day. You will find that they put the meats on sale, especially Memorial Day and Labor Day, because that's supposedly the grilling holidays, right? And you will eat better. Leave the sandwiches to the peasants. Leave the cereal to the peasants, because that's poor people food. That's institution food. You give people that you want to just barely keep alive, you give them grains, refined grains, and it keeps them alive. If that's all you have, then I guess that's all you eat, and it's at least you don't die, but you're not being nourished. We want protein, fatty acids, vitamins, and minerals, and you get that from a carnivore way of eating, which is the ancestral way of eating, which is what humans have been eating for millions of years up until the Industrial Revolution, when it all changed. So eat well, not a sandwich. Eat well so that you can look and feel well. Not cereal, no bread, no rice, no potatoes, no corn, no beans. Eat meat and eggs and fish. Yum. Seriously, cooking animal fats, it's delicious. Have a great day.